What's going on, everybody? Mike, Astro, Cursed, how you all doing today? I can tell you guys, I was here first. Just saying, just saying. I guess I don't count with the battle for first. But I'll vouch for Mike. Mike was the first person to comment, indeed. All right, so I want to test a couple of things today. The first thing I want to do is test good old faithful Trap and Aura spawn camping. Trap's received quite a bit of change here lately. And to really do this effectively, I'm going to have to set up a second Huntress. I know I've got one that's 105. I've got to have one that's leveled, right? This is my DPS Huntress. But I don't even have that one set up properly, so I guess we could set this one up. And guard, a rando set of guard gear. So we would want this one doing Inferno traps. So if this particular hero is doing Inferno traps, that's going to be Militia, right? Let's see. It appears I don't even have a full Militia set. I mean, I can borrow stuff. Go to item power, sorting. See what we got. Let's just get a set equipped here. The power and defense armor. That was power and range. Fort and range. Then we need a chest. Range and rate. Power and rate, but that one doesn't have all four stats. I guess we'll just go with this one. Let's see, and I think we want to go... What do we want to go into? Well, I think we want to go into power here, right? Puts us at 6852. Let's get some upgrades here. Get our power all sorts of jacked. That one's already upgraded. That one's upgraded. This one's not. Alright. Now, what does that put us at here? And that's pretty low numbers. I need to go through the accessories still, of course, but that is not exactly glorious numbers for a test. Not very big uns. They are not very big. Alright, let's get some accessories in the mix here. This is already filtered by item power. See, so we want power, range, or rate would be the ideal numbers. There's fort and rate, which... Range, power and movement speed. I think we'll just go with this fort and rate one. Bracers. I may not have a better set of bracers on me. Fort, power, range. No rate, but it's got range as a... There's range and power. Fort, range, and rate. No power as... That's a little suspect. Power, range, and rate. Let me see what I got here for a mask, too. Or for a brooch, pardon me. We got fort. We got power and fort on that with fortify, range, and rate. I mean, I hate not having power. Range and movement speed. Range and rate. I think we'll use... Well, that's a mask piece. I just can't seem to get the right combo. There's power and rate. Let's use that for bracers. So we just need a brooch. Power, range, rate. Power, range, rate. I think we'll go with this one. And then let's get these guys upped as well. Try to get a little bit of power out of here. Need to get back into DDA. Just been so busy. Didn't they add a new act to the campaign? They did indeed. They added... The last update added quite a bit. And this upcoming update should be very nice as well. The next update that we get is kind of an in-between. It's not a content update. It's a balance update. But I think it's going to be a really good one. Alright, let's see. Where did that put me? I'm at least over 9,000 power now. So, I mean, that's a good start. Let's start off. Let's try this on Ancient Mines here. I'm pretty sure it will clear through the waves, but it's always all about the bonus wave at this point. But looking for spawn camps. Now, I'll throw some DSTs in to help out with like the copter ogres and stuff. But I'm looking to full-on spawn camp this this bad boy. So let's see. Then we want to go... I think we want to go Inferno behind that one. And then Gas behind that one. And then we want... an Ensnare and an Electric. I mean, that's a pretty thick, meaty spawn camp right there, you know? We'll get a buff beam on all of it. And then let's do the same thing on every lane and then just see how much is left. Get back just a touch. That way we can get the Splody in front of it. Yes, in behind it. This is like the old school build, you know? This was the old Nightmare build back before things got changed. I'm going to have to shrink my R's down. Oh, I shouldn't have put that buff beam in yet. Let me get rid of the buff beam. Maybe I'd be able to place this R a little better then. Come on. I'm going to have to size it down. I hate doing that. I got all this range. I want to use it, you know? I hate shrinking my R's. It just feels so criminal. How far does that reach into the spawn here? It doesn't really reach all the way up into the spawn. I'm thinking I should have put those other R's closer to the wall over here. I could have bought myself a little bit of space just by moving these over closer. So let's do that. Let's put them as close as we can to the wall. And then I won't have to make them as small. Still going to have to downsize, but not quite as much. See if that gets all the way. Okay, now that gets all the way to the spawn. I like that much better. Alright, and then we'll go with buff beam here. And a buff beam here. And what do we got left? We got 38 left. So that's 42 DU. So that's 21 DU per lane. This is not going to leave much for copter ogres. I wonder if this is going to work. We're just not going to have not going to have much at all left over for copter ogres. Right, that leaves 17. So yeah. So I'm not going to be able to use DSTs. There's just not going to be enough. I'm going to have to shoot copter ogres. That's all there is to it. What could I get rid of? I mean, I don't want to get rid of anything. I feel like if I got rid of anything, it would have to be the gas. I could get rid of the gas traps. That would give me 26. That would at least give me 2 DSTs. Decisions. Good lord. Or I could try just an ultimate spawn camp and throw an Enrager into the mix. That would leave me 2 extra DU, but then I would have to manually kill the copter ogres. Which, I mean, I can do that. My auras aren't quite big enough. I thought about that too, but they're just not very large. I mean, they're big, but that's just a huge, huge space. Like, if I had them here... Oh, no! Alright, if I had them... Like, right here in the middle of the bridge, you see the line there. It's not even all the way into the lane. And then over this side... Actually, yeah, it's not even all the way across the lane there either. I mean, that would be ideal. Yeah, with a buff beam, it's just not going to be far enough. Now, there's also another thing I could try. But once again, it's going to come back down to killing the copter ogres myself. Which I guess is fine, really. You know what? Let's do this. Let's put a Enrager on this side. And we're just going to use a regular old Enrage. I'm not going to bother busting out a fusion set for it. Put an Enrage over here, and hopefully that will make it so I don't have to pay attention to that side. Then that's going to leave me 12. And then with 12, I can do what? Let's get rid of this. And we'll go with a Beamer instead of DSTs for the copter ogres. I'm not going to be able to put a buff beam on them is the problem. I really kind of want a buff beam for them. We could get rid of the gas trap here. I hate to get rid of the gas traps, man. That's the stun for the... I think the thing to do is actually get rid of the Infernos, not the gas traps. Because that's the stun, right? For the gen. Then we can go... Let's just get a 3DU buff beam down. Do I have another hero slot I could use? I haven't used this slot yet. That would force me to play on the monk, which is fine. I mean, it's not like I love me some monkage, so. Now, what did I have left? I got 4 left. It just gives me a kind of a silly idea. Well, let's try it. Silly is always good. That and I'm supposed to be trying new things on the PTR, right? So let's get, where's the Shroomer at? Shroomin'. There we go. Let's get our Shroomer out. Well, I'm not going to be able to put 2 because I got to have the tree. So that's not going to work out. Here, we can do this. We can put a 1 Wisp down. Right here. Just to help out with the copter ogres and whatnot. Yeah, Wisp. I mean, a Wisp is so good, but the Wisp has been really good, and it hasn't received any changes, so I was trying to use all the stuff that has just received some sort of a change. And then we got 8,000 left, so... Let's get at least 3 ups into each of the buff beams. Maybe might be able to go 4. Go 4 ups there. Theoden, what's up, man? How's the day off coming? I'm going to be playing. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to try to jump into some tribes tonight, Thaden. Late. But then I also want to dive into Riftbreaker. Riftbreaker launches next week, and I haven't gone through it in several updates, so I kind of want to go through and check that out too. And it's really, Riftbreaker is going to be, you can quote me on this, it is the best defense type game in 2020. That's launching in 2021. There is no better defense game. Well, I mean, Orcs Must Die 3 is pretty good. I guess I should say there's no better base defense game. I don't want to lump it into action defense because Orcs Must Die 3 is pretty awesome. But as far as base defense games, there is not a better one in 2021. It is officially the shit. Just good stuff. Everything is just evaporating at the spawns. Now, will it hold for Lycan King bonus wave is the question, you know? But yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping into some Tribes of Midgard again, though. I'm doing good. I had one of those mornings. We have our garage. It's not an attached garage. It's a separate building. And the previous owner, you know, it's a big property, and it's set up for cattle. And the previous owner was using it as a barn. And we're trying to convert it over to a garage. So it's got a dirt floor. You know, so the first task one, of course, was shoveling horse and cow shit. No, I'm just playing around, Storm Dragon. But anyway, one of the doors, you know, he allowed the cows to go in and out freely. So there was a door, like a normal standard door that was off on the pasture side that just didn't have a door on it. So went to hang a door on that this morning, and of course, you know, it's an older building, and the door frame is just not even remotely square at all. Nothing was level. So you pop a new door in the middle of it, and it looks like a complete mess, you know? So had to go through and kind of trim that out a little bit and make it look a little bit more acceptable. And then got the door hung. And then tomorrow we got a big load of gravel being dropped off, and we're just going to use like a rock floor for it. We're going to park a car and a boat in there, I think. Or maybe not even the boat. Maybe just a car. I'm not certain. We will have to see here. Marfy, what's going on? All right, so wave 23 was like easy peasy lemon squeezy. But that's not the Lycan King bonus wave, and I'm in Lycan King gear, so we can't really chalk that up as a win. You know, it's all about the bonus wave. But if we look, I'm going to try to just shoot the copter ogres, but if we look, everything is evaporating. You know, there's literally not one single mob making it past the spawn. You completed the 3 Lycan tests. Very nice, very nice. I wish the reward was in. I want to see what it looks like, you know? Yeah, for the bonus wave, I might actually fight up top of that. That way I can kill the copters a little quicker. I'm not supposed to be shooting in the lanes. Quit shooting in the lanes, damn it. But yeah, as far as just the regular waves, man, stuff is just straight up dying. I mean, look at the tack map. There's an ogre. An ogre will make it through, of course, but we got beams on this side. We only have to worry about ogres from this side. You didn't use the new hero yet? Had to learn him first, but after knowing his skills, it was fairly easy. Yeah, the rogue is a lot of fun to play, and then the warden is not as fun to play actively, but as a builder, she's 100% the best builder in the game. I mean, now, obviously, you don't ever want to just limit yourself to just one hero. But if you were going to, that's the one you'd want to use. You know? She's just got a crazy, crazy good kit. And her defenses are completely ridiculous. Just really, really awesome. Let's see, we got some ups there. I feel like I got to make sure these explosives and infernos are pretty decked. Beat the Lichen King with the Warden. Phil actually did it on stream on Friday, on the dev stream Friday. He did it with both characters. He made it look pretty easy, to be honest. I haven't done them all yet. I just did the first one just to see what the test was all about and to learn the mechanic. You got to stay inside the aura to do damage. And, you know, obviously, it's all about the reward, right? And the reward's not in the game yet, so we can't look at the shinies. The second one you think is the hardest? I'd still think, from what I saw, though, I still think the throne room ones were the hardest of all. The throne room ones are quite challenging, you know. Or if I just want to head on up there. Well, I mean, I'm going to want to do upgrades before the bonus wave comes, so. And more copter ogres. Nothing apparent anyway. The throne room one is quite challenging. No doubt there. This side is just evaporating. We got Dunk Master, Master Flex, of course. We got to keep an eye out for that guy. I also want to check the ground for any of the named weapons. Like that one, someone chose that name. That's actually a named weapon, Nameless. That's one of the Kickstarter tiers was name a weapon. And name armor. Like this Kaitan's Drake Scale militia set is a named piece. I haven't seen any of the juicy pieces yet. There should be a juice armor piece and a juice weapon. I haven't seen either of them. HRGA and Militia Stompers. I've only actually seen one name of somebody that I recognize. Moonfall, Staff of NATO. That one, and Round the Coroner. That's funny. That's, you know, someone picked that from Kickstarter. That's a funny one, though. Around the Coroner. This one I've seen more than anybody else. So Bobby5557, whoever you are, your money has been well spent because your weapon drops like crazy. There's Nameless again. So that one's dropping a lot too, it appears. All right, we got the bonus wave here. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to kill the copter ogres, and then I'm going to need to watch for ogres, particularly on that far lane. So hopefully, I put the Enrage over there because enraged ogres will turn around and go after, or enraged regular ogres that, ogres can't be enraged, but a regular ogre will actually turn around and go back up to mobs to beat them up if those mobs are enraged. Thank you so much for subscribing there, Mikey. Welcome, welcome. I do appreciate it a ton. All right, here we go. I think I'm going to start the bonus wave up here, actually. And that should allow me to get on those copter ogres just right away. And hopefully the trash is going to die. And it doesn't look like it's going to. We got to get these copter ogres down. Actually, nothing's really making it through. There's stuff making it right to the end. I don't see a single mob actually making it through, though. Maybe this is gonna hold. Maybe Trap and Aura spawn camp builds are viable again. I think, Infernos feel like they still need a tweak. But if you compare them side by side with Electric Auras, with the same stat, they're putting out about the same amount of damage. But yeah, nothing is making it past. This spawn camp is effective. Ogre, of course, is going to make it. That one's just going to get melted, though. Wow. All right. Looking like full-on Trap and Aura spawn camps are a thing again. Or will be a thing. And that, you guys saw those in the Infernos I set up. They were far from being very strong. Let's check to see if we see any named stuff. Albania, that's a named item. Chopstick. Somebody named that one. Vanya's Militia Gauntlets. Where did Juicy stuff at? Hellfire Ancient Headpiece. I don't think any of the offhands are going to be named. I mean, they might. Who knows? Daigon's Fury. Ryland's Militia Stompers. It seems like I see the same names a lot. I mean, I know RNG is RNG, you know? But it feels like I see a lot of the same stuff. Look at that badass rock. As far as rock pets go, that's a shiny one, huh? Fort and Power. I mean, that's not a terrible piece, but I think you've got good chances of getting a Arcanist crown that's going to be a lot better. They could be. I mean, that could be. Just testing it. I mean, it seems like they said that these were going to be really rare. In every map, you see a dozen of them, at least. I mean, there's tons of them. Le Tabaret. That's, someone chose that name. Yeah, it definitely does not look like any of the offhand stuff is named. Wow, that's a decent piece. If it only had all three stats. Well, all right. Spawn Camp. Spawn Camp is a win. That went way better than I expected. Now, a few other things I want to try. Let's just load this map again. This is such a great test map. Now, what else did I want to try? Is there anything you guys want to see? DDA is the most current game. And they're very, very different, X-Ray. If you're looking for an experience more like the original game, then you want to play DDA. If you're looking for something that's completely different and free, and it's a little bit, the monetization system is a little bit suspect, but not terrible. Then DD2 is a good choice. All right, let's see. That's poo. That's poo. What do we get here? 385. Eh. Fort and Power. Meh. Well, DDA is being fully developed. DD2, you can't say is still being updated. DD2 has a person working on it, and it's not getting frequent updates. DDA is getting, the entire team is working on it and is getting updates. Shroomies aren't going to work for Spawn Camp. I can just nix that one right out of the gates, as I know that's just not not good, not valid. I mean, we'll try it though. I got no problem with doing something that I know won't work, just to see. Oh, you always have wanted to go attack on Monk for DPS, Murphy. It has always been the thing you wanted to do. So, absolutely. Now, the problem is what you really need to do in endgame is you need to go Vitality. So, like, this is a builder more than it is a DPS character, so I put everything into power. But if I was, like, main DPS on this character, I would probably throw everything into Vitality just so I can stay alive easier. But as far as raw power goes, oh yeah. See, the problem with shroomy spawn camps is your trees have got to stay alive. That's the trouble. And your roots don't like to live. They are not very fond of life. Let's hide one right there. And then I think we can hide one like right here maybe. Or an ability's not working. You can only use Wrath mode, not your only ability or your secondary attack. I haven't had a problem with them. You gotta, they're target the ground type thing. So like for the second ability, you hit F, it brings the ability up, and then you get the aim reticle for it, and then you use your primary attack, and it throws it. And then it's the same thing with the right click. If you use the alternate attack, you hit right click, it brings up the little arrow, and then you hit left click, and it actually throws it down. It's not like the other abilities where you hit it and it goes off. Alright, let's see what we can do. See if these shrooms can get the job done. I mean, what else do we want? We don't want just shrooms, right? What else do you guys want it to spawn? You guys pick it. I mean, just shrooms I don't think is going to be very effective. The pea shooter is the strongest defense in the game, Murphy. The sludge launcher. Thunder Spike? I don't have a Thunder Spike set up, but the problem with a Thunder Spike is that's a single target defense. It's not AoE. Yeah, the Sludge Launcher is crazy, crazy good. It may not still be the strongest defense in the game, but it's one of the strongest defenses in the game. It's just really, really, really good. Yeah, but Thunder Spikes, that's their problem, is they're single targets. So when the lightning goes off, it only hits one enemy. So that's no good for spawn camps. Then Snare Aura plus an Electric Aura. The thing with the Sludge Launchers is it hits like an absolute ridiculous truck. And it's AoE. So not only is it the hardest hitting single target defense in the game, but it's also an area of effective defense. It's just, that is just ridiculous, right? I think some of the changes will get increased personally. I don't think a single thing will get reduced. X-Ray, thank you so much for subscribing. I really don't. I don't think a single thing will get reduced. I think that some things will get buffed more. Some of the things don't seem like quite enough. You know? And we need to get buff beams in there too. Can we go with a 3? Is that going to hit all 3 of them? Yeah, it is. Perfect. Yeah, I think the Squire will get tweaked a little bit more. The Squire's not in a bad shape, but it's not comparable to the other defenses. You know? Like, a lot of people are big fans of, like, the Harpoons for the Squire, and it's from DD1, because they were so glorious in DD1. And they're just nowhere near that in DDA, you know? All right, let's do the same thing over here. Here, where are we going to hide our tree, though? Where's our shrooms? That's our shroomer. I think we can hide it down there, maybe? And then we'll go, shroom. And snare, electric, a buff beam. And then that's going to leave me 17. One wisp for some single target would not be a terrible idea, I don't think. What's going on there, Hasha? Is it Jasha or Hasha? Am I just massacring your name? I apologize. That's enough for 4 wisps, and then the wisps would also handle the copter ogres, which would be good. I think adding a wisp on each lane would be a good thing, personally. It's Mr. X. Fair enough, fair enough. What do you guys think? Do you guys mind me putting a wisp in? 1 wisp on each lane? We can actually go 2 wisps on 1 lane. We can go 2 wisps here. We'll go 1 wisp here. And then we'll go 1 wisp here. Well, I mean, DD1 is an absolute masterpiece of a game, Shadow Wolf. If you pulled, like, every Dungeon Defenders player of all time, they might, Themic. This is, we did a really, really solid Trap and Aura spawn camp test just a minute ago. And now this is the much more absurd Shroomy spawn camp. But yeah, anyway, if you were to pull, like, every player that ever played any Dungeon Defenders game, ever, in all time, and asked which game was the best, DD1 would win that vote by a large, large number. I mean, there is no doubt. I mean, DD1 and DD2 had the same amount of players, or the same amount of total downloads on PC, and it's a free game. So you would think the free game would have way more than the game you have to pay for, right? But nope, same amount of downloads. And on Xbox, DD1 actually had way, way more. I mean, DD1's it's an epic game. It's just a masterpiece of a game, you know. And I mean, I love all the Dungeon Defenders games. I've gotten my money's worth out of every single one of them. But DD1 is without a doubt an absolute gem, you know. What are you up to there, Themic? You been playing around on the PTR very much? I know you've put some time into it for sure. All right, let's see. I have to kill the copters again. Huh. Actually, I got the wisps. I may not even have to really put much work into the copters. Well, I mean, that's all stuff you have to learn, Murphy. The thing that DD1 had is it really had that special loot grind in it. It had the loot grind that would make you want to play a map 1,000 times, literally. And the thing that made it so, to give you that just one more feel, is that item you're looking for, you had the chance of getting it on the very next map, you know? And that's what really made DD1 super special. I mean, for me personally, for sure. Stupid spooters. I don't got nothing back here to kill the spooters. I guess the wisps will kill him once I get a few more upgrades in. You haven't had much time to play, actually. That's fair. I'm going to be playing a ton of Riftbreaker this next coming week. Riftbreaker is a good game, y'all. It is a really good game. In fact, I said it at the beginning of the stream. I'll say it again for those that just joined. As far as base defense games that launched in 2021, it is leaps and bounds greater than every other one that's launched. It's really, really, really good. And that launches next week. I actually have access to it in alpha version now. I mean, it's been updated, so it is an updated alpha version. But yeah, man, that game, so good. So good. All right. I'm not going to lie. I was completely expecting to get just rolled over. That's crazy. And to be honest with you, it's kind of a waste having 3 shrooms there. I put 3 just because they're so cheap. But you don't actually want to have 3. Because they explode on themselves. And like the first one to blow up does all the damage. And then the other 2 just explode and don't hit anything. So like the perfect sweet spot, I think, for shrooms is to have 1 per lane. None of your friends can play with you. Get really bored after a couple hours. Yeah. I mean, friends are... it's definitely a game best played with friends. You know? No doubt. 1 is ideal. I don't think I'd call them OP because they're not near as good as quite a few of the other defenses. Well, yeah, I guess that's the question. You know, this is like 12k electric auras, so... I mean, realistically, I probably could have put an electric aura and a snare on the lane and it would have covered it. Look at those guys running all the way around. Yeah, I don't think I would classify the shrooms as OP, though. I would classify them as quite usable and a good source of damage, but putting more than 1 per lane, I think, is a complete waste. Putting a second one is a waste. It's just that first one is going to blow up that pack of mobs. The second one's just going to explode and not hit anything. You know? Now, unless you can stagger them off far enough apart from each other where they're running up at different times. But I do think more than 1 is a waste. Like here, I would have rather just had 1 shroomy and an explosive trap, and I think that would be an absolute beast of a spawn camp combo there. Well, they're dying instantly, X-Ray, so there's no reason to... I mean, I've got an ensnare aura in there to slow them, but I mean, there's no way to really hold them up anymore. They're just dying. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the shrooms are better off than the harpoons are right now. I would give them that. I do think they're better than the harpoons. Well, you can look at the damage done. Only one of these is really getting shots in every time. Let's see. We got 140 million damage dealt, 185 million damage dealt, and 89. So, like, this one is getting the raw end of that deal. These two seem like they're doing decent damage. And then we compare that to an electric aura, 38 mil. So, I mean, putting down a lot of damage, you know? What's going on there, Cake? How you doing, man? Ooh, we took some damage here, too. I'm just going to upgrade that. Alright, let's let it fly here again. Just watch the mini-map this time. I guess, I mean, I don't really need to kill the copter ogres now that the wisps are upgraded. Or the tack map. I constantly call this the mini-map. Slice and dice towers are pretty awesome, Mikey. The problem is there's just not very many situations where you need to use a wall. That's the problem. Lose some stuff from your inventory when going to PTR? No, if you lost anything, it's because you probably played in the previous PTR, and it's your PTR save that got copied over. What you need to do to fix that is go into your save files, delete the PTR save, and then restart the PTR. And when you restart it, it will load up your live account, your live save. It will copy that over. Oh, wow. Well, the wisps took that ogre down. Yeah, Monk is definitely one of the best characters for DPS in DD2. Yeah, I mean, gas traps are just... Gas traps make the world go round, y'all. Ensnare auras and gas traps, that combo is just so devastating. I did a lot of playing with Slice and Dice, the day before yesterday over on Twitch. So there's a Twitch live stream. I never really got them to... They work really good, but it just boils down to the situation where you got, like, ideally you would want your Slice and Dice mowing down packs of enemies, right? But the problem is the enemies die before they get to it. You know, and then you get a Rift Ogre that comes in, and the Rift Ogre just comes in 1 or 2 taps it, and it's gone. So, like, the Slice and Dice would be the ideal thing for mowing down the fodder enemies. But it just boils down to that whole... The other defenses are so good, and in such a good way, that there's just no reason to ever use the walls. I mean, you can make them work, but there's no reason to, like, say, okay, I'm doing this wall build where I got this beefy bad boy defense sitting here that's going to soak up all the damage, and then that's going to give my defenses time to kill everything. And then you do the same exact build, but you pull the wall out and add something else instead, one more wisp or one more trap or whatever the case is, and the mobs just all die, you know? It's a thing. DD2 is the same way. Where, like, in DD1, you could build up those archers with a lot of health and have them as walls, and then throw a mage behind them, and you could keep those alive, even with an ogre slamming on them. DD2 in endgame, like in higher, not even high onslaught, just above average onslaught maps, walls just get one-tapped. In DDA, in massacre mode, walls just get insta-destroyed. So, I mean, Chromatic made the game, and Trendy before them, they just made a game that made walls irrelevant. It's unfortunate, because, like, the Slice and Dice, that thing has got more cool value than just about any defense in the game. I mean, that is just a cool-looking thing, you know? And they set it up where it's just not a tower that you would want to use. Well, either the walls would need to be buffed to allow them to soak up a little bit more damage, or enemies would have to be nerfed with how much damage they do. But even having a buff beam and a strength drain or R on a wall, that makes them last a lot longer, obviously. But it's still not what you'd think it would be. It's not what a wall does for you in early game. You know, where in early game, Ogre can slam on a wall for, like, 10 swings or whatever, and you can repair through it, and then you can have your, you know, you can tank and spank kind of on your walls. In later game, that just changes so much. Nice, Goated. Grats, man. You know what I think would be super duper cool, but I know will never happen, because the Slice and Dice is just, it's a blockade, right? It's a wall. Okay, we got a Jhin out that time. That took something, actually. We lost 11 DU. I think we lost over here. Yeah, the Jinn. So we had one Jinn get uppity. And, but this did pretty damn good. And now imagine now only using one shroom per lane and having an explosive trap in here instead. Well, they're running to the other lanes when there's no more targets. I mean, these two lanes are really close together. You know, you got, 2,000, 2,500 range, and you upgrade them. They're going to be reaching over to the other lane. No, it's not really more difficult. It's just an adjustment that you got to kind of get used to. I'm hoping they tweak it again, because although I like the thought of the different target priorities, I feel like they don't have that list quite right. It's, let me see, I'll give you the path here. Obviously, your computer would not be named Juice. But where mine is named Juice, type in your computer name. Let me see, I'll link it in chat here. It is that. So users, your computer name, app data local, DDS, saved games. And it'll be the one that's tagged PTR on the end. Yeah, I mean the Squire is the master of the walls, right? Oh, no problem there, man. No problem. You know what I think would be cool is if that slice and dice was more of like a melee tower that wasn't a blockade, that enemies could just walk right through it or whatever. That one's named one, Farming Rainbows. Red Hexed. This is Minor Gloves. That's a named one. I've only seen one or maybe two names that I recognize so far, as far as people from the community. But would that not be cool as hell if, like, the slice and dice was something that you could put, like, down the sides of lanes and the enemies that came through would get ground up? I think that would be cool as hell, man. Well, I mean, it depends on if you've got some gear to use, you know? I think the go-to grinding in that area is probably the Eternia Shards maps. Like, I think Misty Mire is a good starting point for getting some of that end-game gear. See if we got any other named stuff here. I mean, would that not be crazy cool? If slice and dices were like, if I put slice and dices, like 3 of them down the row here, and mobs that ran by got the grind on, that would be crazy cool, right? But it would just drastically change. Simon Beast, all right, I know that dude. That's a big DD2 guy, big Dryad fan from DD2. Mayaria. Meme repellent. I mean, that's obviously a named item, but it's a funny one. NATO's Death Fingers. Here's the Moonfall. See, I see the same stuff over and over again. Horus. I haven't seen that one yet. Stick Prime. Oh, that's funny. What's up, Grimlock? How you doing, man? I'm trying to look at all these named weapons, is the point. I know this gear is all junk. The Arcanist gear, I've got a video completely explaining it, but it's basically a wild card for your fusion sets. So it gives you the first defense for free for fusion, and it fills the gap in another fusion set. So it allows you to have two fusion items on one hero. Like, for example, I'm using the guard set here. So this is my Electric Aura builder. And then I threw the Arcanist crown on, and that gives me Ensnare Auras as well. So now I got fusion and snares and electric Auras on this one. All right, what else do we want to try, y'all? I want to try one more spawn camp here, but what else do we put? I think this is crazy effective. You know, the map to do, the map to really test for is not going to be this map. Let's up the ante a little bit and go to prom. That is such a wonderful spawn camp map. Arcanist drops from wave 25 of the keep. It's guaranteed in the victory chest. This is such a wonderful, wonderful spawn camp map right here. If this goes smoothly, I'll do a public one if any of y'all are online and see if we can handle a 4-player group with it. Let's see. Now, I want to mix this up. Let's go. Well, what do we have? What do we have? We got 125 DU. And we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 spawns. Let's just... I'm not going to go with Infernos on this one. I don't need the beams. Or those beams. All right, let's do this. We got 25, right? So let's see. What can we get in one lane? We got in a snare. We can go with a Splody. And a gas trap. We can get... let's hide a tree, like there. And then we can go with... We got 10 more DU to spend. We can go 2 wisps. And 1 shroom. What do you guys think of that? 2 wisps and 1 shroom. Oh, that doesn't leave me a buff beam. Okay, so 1 wisp. One wisp and 1 shroom actually works out perfect. Actually, I'm going to have a bunch of DU left over on this one. Oh, no doubt, Luke, for sure. All right, X-Ray, take it easy. Thanks for hanging out, man. Have a wonderful rest of your day. High score, what up, what up? Yeah, it's 30 per lane. You're not counting wrong, I am. So we could get another wisp over here. Let's just see where it ends up. Let's see how it ends up with just these that I've been putting down. What am I missing? The wisp, the shroom. This one, I think we can put the root back up over here, maybe. I tell you what, I mean, a lot of people don't like these builds. But I love spawn camp builds. They're just fun. You know, it's like the ultimate gear check. Do you have the power for the spawn camp, or do you not? You know, it's one of those situations. That wall is going to get hit, I have a feeling. I got to place this one somewhere. Actually, can we go up here? I think we might be able to go up here with it. I don't think it'll get hit there. I'm super curious if this will hold up. In a full group. All right, what about this one? Gonna get whopped there. I bet it won't get hit there. All right, so what do we want for the rest? Part of me wants something for the copter ogres more. Now, I could just easily do that by just having... Well, we know this is a double ogre. Or, no, the back one is the double lane, right? That back one over there? Let's do this. We'll put one extra wisp on each lane. Over here, we'll put 2. That leaves me 5 more. I mean, I could go with 1 more over here as well. This is also a copter ogre side. This is just gonna steamroll, y'all. I'm just sure of it. Get that one upped. I want to save enough to full up that other heavy lane. We'll go 3 ups there. You can go 4 there. We'll full up this one. Leaves me a little change for wisps and whatnot. There we go. We'll just go with that. Now I'm going to kick it somewhere safe and just watch the attack map on this one and see what comes out. Well, here we got an ogre right out of the gates, of course. The ogre got wrecked. The copter ogre is not getting touched, but once I get upgrades on the wisps, I think that won't be an issue anymore. All right, Themic, take it easy. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Enjoy your Monday at school. Oof. Oof. Man, we're just beating it down, beating them all down. I mean, this ogre is going to make it past, but the wisps are going to kill it. Yep. Wow, man. Well, I mean, spawn camping is definitely a thing again. If anybody's into that sort of thing. I think spawn camp builds are quite viable once more. I'm going to have a late night tonight. There's just so many games I want to check out, man. I wasn't able to play Tribes of Midgard. There was an issue with people who had access to the beta, and Steam was flagging the account like you already had it, so you couldn't try to buy it. It's saying, oh, you already own this product, but you don't own the product because the beta closed and was no longer open, yet it was still registered in Steam account. So I had to contact Steam support and get them to remove the game, and then I was able to buy it. But I'm anxious to dive in and check that out some more. It's been such a long time since I played it. I want to play that with viewers. I think that's a really good game to be able to play with viewers. Let's get some upgrades on these wisps. That way the copter ogres get hit. Let's see. I didn't do a very good job of kicking it over here last time. I wanted to kick it and watch the attack map. Let's try this again. Hey, ogre pushing through. Ogre wrecked. Wow, man. Everything's evaporating. I got to get good first, Thaden. You got to teach me all the things, man. But I also want to get into Riftbreaker. Riftbreaker launching this week, and I already kind of have a basic understanding of the game. It would be a pretty big missed opportunity for me if I didn't put out a couple of weapon tier lists and defense tier lists and a few tutorials. It would be silly for me not to, because that game's going to be really, really popular. So I am going to be grinding out quite a bit of Riftbreaker here this upcoming week. But Tribes of Midgard, I'm just anxious to play. It just looks like so much fun. But you got to teach me, Thaden. You got to teach me. Not just the carry, man. You got to show me the way. Show me the way. Got to teach me all the secrets. Wow, man. I mean, once again, it's all down to the bonus wave. Is this going to hold in the bonus wave, you know? But, I mean, you guys see the map. Stuff just dead. You got to 100 nights in survival? Nice. How long did that take you, Marfy? Like, start to finish, what does it take to do that? Couldn't play with him if you wanted to not 105, you have barely 70 in the world of DDA. You'll be there. Luke, you'll be there. You can join Massacre Maps at level 83. You don't have to be 105. All you got to be is level 83, man. Looks like there's no name stuff on this. I wonder if that stuff is... Or no, there's something. That's something I haven't seen. Not many named items on the ground on this one. Like 12 hours? $16, fair enough, fair enough. Hamguard. Hamguard's guard shackles. I'm wondering... Hellfire, Lared's Miner Helmet. I mean, I'm seeing all the names, right? There's a primitive, just a regular primitive. Here, let me crank some ups here. Well, like, you can save it and come back, I think, can't you? Like, can't you save where you're at and come back next day? Or are you locked in? It took 2 days. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I mean, as long as you can save it and come back, 12 hours isn't bad at all. $74, $78. You want to do the highest level survival maps that you can, Goated? Wave 20 starts is the fastest way. The fastest XP per hour. Don't go to wave 23 starts. Do wave 20 starts on the highest level survival you can. So the highest difficulty one you can... Well, the highest difficulty one that you can clear quickly. You know, if you're struggling with it, but you're getting through it, then it's not going to be very fast. But it's all the XP grind in DDA is all about survival mode. Yeah, man. Spawn camp doing good. We got an ogre pushing through. That ogre's getting... Let's see, are the wisps going to kill it? The wisps still killed it. I lost something over here. I lost my shroom. Or no, I didn't lose my shroom. What did I lose over here? Did I lose the tree? No, I didn't lose the tree. I lost a wisp. Yeah, I lost a wisp over here. All right, bonus wave time. Let's take a look at the gear here. Ryan's stick. Once again, I'm seeing all the same things. You know, I haven't played on a huntress, or a rogue will get weapons too. Let me see. Let me get a rogue out. Maybe I'll get some more gun drops. I'm very curious to see which weapon is the juice weapon, because I've got, you know, I mean, I did the Kickstarter thing. Ancestor's Final Word. Regular old fused paintball gun. We starting. Hopefully we see hopefully see some more weapons here. Or some more guns, or crossbows, I should say. Oh, I lost that wisp again. Took the reflect beam with it this time. Beat a map with like and bonus wave using no more than one of each tower type. I mean, what would be the map? I don't think that'd be that difficult. I think I could do it. Famous last words. That's not hard. I'll try that right now. As soon as this map's over, I'll try it out. Yeah, you know I'm going right to Ancient Mines. There's no doubt. That's where I'm going. I just happen to have a buttload of defenses set up, though, and ready to go for some kind of challenge like that. Alright, so I lost a lot of stuff on the bonus wave, but it's still holding. I mean, nothing's making it out. Well, I mean, I'll try it on the easier map first and see if I can even do it. I mean, I may just be being arrogant and just get face rolled, you know. It sounds like it would be easy, but what if it's not? What if I get my ass kicked? You know, so I'd try it on the easy map first, and then I'll try it on a harder map later. I might just get beat down and embarrassed, Luke. That's always a factor. What's alive? We got a Zerkiness, Damn Delphs. Dirty Delphs. Alright, let's just pop on the Huntress right away and force a crossbow here. And of course, yeah, we got one gun drop. Oh, yes, there it is. The juicy canister. Well, I gotta save that. It's the first one I've seen. Looks like I got the grenade launcher, y'all. No other... Let's see if there's any other named ones before I leave the map. Now I gotta find a godly version. Because you know it's no good if it's not godly, right? Grenade launcher shoots oranges. That would be awesome. Let's see. Let's see. No. No oranges. Missed opportunity chromatic. That should be oranges. For God's sakes. Missed opportunity. I'm going to save that, though. Well, welcome back there, X-Ray. Welcome back. All right, let's try this. Now, first off, who do I want my fusion defenses to be? Only one defense, right? So... I mean, we can get rid of this, and you know I'm going to have a tower in there. You know we're going to have a B. I don't need the buff beams to be fusion. Get a sludge launcher. And then beams. So we'll have a bee or a wisp. Shadow shot, what's going on? A gas trap and an explosive trap. A beamy flower. A DST and a magic missile. A sludge. And an ensnare aura and an electric aura. So these will be my fusion defenses. So let's go try this out. So the challenge here, y'all, is no more of one defense on a Lycan King bonus wave. I'm going to try the easiest map first, the Ancient Mines. This one actually might be interesting. I normally don't do challenges like this, but it sounds like it might be fun. Alright. So we're going to have to... We can only go one aura, so... Okay, there's that. I guess we should work on our... do I want to work on the... Or no, I'm going to have to put the tree back here. We'll put the tree just behind everything. And then we're going to have what? Let me get my other towers down first. See, this one is a beam, right? Yeah, this one's a beaming blossom. We'll go with it that way. A 3060 Ti. Nice shadow shot. Grats, man. That's awesome. Okay, we got our beam. We'll put our DST over on this side because it can shoot through the walls. Actually, you know, we kind of double dip on that DST. We can go something like that and hit both lanes. Okay, then we got our magic missile We can just pop that there. What else we got? Who is this? This is our sludge. We can put our sludge something like that. We've already got both of our auras in. We need our traps. So what do? We need our buff beam too. Let's grab the buff beam real quick. And then I'll put the apprentice back in deck. I'm thinking I should just put a big one down and then tag traps onto it, maybe. All right, let's see. I think we would want the gas over here. And then an explosive. We need a reflect beam, right? You know what? Let's just do a crazy big reflect beam since we can only put one. Kind of try to cover all the edges. All right, we got 34 left. We need to get our apprentice back in deck, but what else do we want to put down? We still got room to play. Yeah, harpoons need to go down for sure. There's going to be a lot of line of sight issues on a harpoon for this side, though. I feel like the harpoon has to go over here. Actually, it's going to have line of sight issues there, too. Let's just go ahead and grab our poons. They're not going to be fusion because he's not going to be in the deck, so it doesn't even matter who I build it on, but... Let's try to double dip on the poons, too. And, I mean, while we're at it, we might as well just throw down a bowling ball as well, right? Just for extra memes and dreams. Bowling ball, we got 22 left. Well, I never put a shroomy in. I never put a wisp in yet either. Let's see, let's get a shroom down. Yeah, I might put some walls in, but if I put walls in, they're going to be like the last thing I put in. I think the walls are just going to get destroyed, basically. I don't really have a favorite X-ray. It's like asking which one of your kids you like the most. It's not a question I'm going to answer. My favorite today is Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Why is that my favorite today? Because I've got things to do. I've got new things coming. There's things to see. In DD2, I don't have any goals. I've already achieved everything I want to achieve. So, that's not really judging the game. That's just saying I've got things to do in DDA. I don't have anything to do in DD2. All right, so what am I missing? What am I missing? We can throw some walls down. I don't even have a dedicated waller. Let me see. Do I have a squire that's not really set up with anything in particular right now that I could switch over to being a dedicated waller? We got Not Monk. We got Wally. You'd think that would be a waller, right? Is Wally a waller? Yeah, it looks like Wally's a waller. Yeah, not a very good one, though, huh? 5,800. I mean, I can just spam fort upgrades and everything here. I've already done like every single thing there is to do in DD2 X-Ray. I've made over 3,000 videos of that game. You name the challenge, I've already done it. The only thing I haven't done that I don't plan on doing, because it's like purposefully torturing yourself for no reason other than EP's sake, and that's climbing to floor 999 in Massacre. It's like the downfall that ruined the game, and there's no reward, and it's just the only reason to do it is so you can throw your dick on the table and say, look at me. And I'm an adult, you know? So I don't have that urge. But literally everything else in DD2 I've done. Alright, so let's throw a slice and dice out here. I mean, I would literally rather pick the worst thing in the world. I would rather do that than climb to Onslaught, floor 999 in DD2. I've got more respect for my time. Trendy didn't have any respect for any of our time. And I've got more respect for mine. Alright, what am I missing? What am I missing, y'all? I mean, I could throw a bouncer in, too. Should have moved the slicey dicey over further, huh? And 8 more DU. I didn't get a flame burst tower down. It's not going to be a fusion one because I don't have another slot in my deck, but a flame burst would be beneficial. There's 5, so 3 more left. I could do a 3 DU proton beam. Put it right here. That looks terrible. Yeah, you can change your hero names. You go to the hero deck, and when you go to put them in the deck, this guy hasn't earned his new name yet, but eventually this guy would be named Captain Murica, but he's got to prove himself first. But yeah, you just click on rename right there, and it allows you to rename him. All right, here we go. Our DU is spent. Well, it's not very obvious. It's not that you're blind. It's just not very obvious. You know? This stuff's gonna get just destroyed, I think. I could have put a shock beam down, I guess. All right, here goes. Let's see how it does. It's actually doing remarkably well. I mean, this wave doesn't matter. It's all about the bonus wave, right? It's just gathering mana. That flame burst hasn't taken a shot yet, I don't think, has it? Oh, no, there it did. It shot at a spooter. There's just a lot of things going around. Poons flying, laser beams, bouncy balls. There's just a lot of things. The walls haven't got any action yet, but they probably will take damage in the bonus wave, I would guess. What's going on there, Sun King? How you doing? Oh crap, man. I got that flame burst so far back, there's no way in hell that's getting the buff. The hell was I thinking? Man, I got all that mana dumped into it too. Hopefully that doesn't take any shots. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. What's going on there, Kayla? How you doing? How is Sunday treating you? Well, I mean, he's got that shield toss, right? The shield toss needs, in my opinion, the shield toss needs a buff. It's super fun, and that's like the biggest challenge, is putting something in the game that's fun. But I don't think it hits hard enough. They either need to buff the damage or drop the cooldown. One of the two, in my opinion. I mean, I realize they don't want you turning your Squire into a ranged character, but it's the same note, why not? Everybody plays the Squire as a boring old hack and slash and stacks up a radiate, you know? And then the good players that have grinded out massive gear go with the spinning steel builds. Got to get some grown-up stuff done? Man, I hate that. I had to do that too all day. There, Kayla, I've actually got more of that to do later on today. That's the worst kind of stuff. Obscenity, guard sabtons, Death Cloak. I haven't seen Miracle Star in a while, but I gotta tell her I saw her weapon in the game. Yeah, the yellow beam is the Beaming Blossom. There's good old baguette. Gotta have a baguette, right? If you're trying to give me a challenge for DD2, go back in time 4 years ago and give it to me then. I don't know how much more I can say to you guys. I don't have any goals in DD2. I've got nothing I want to do, nothing I want to accomplish. There's nothing for me there. So, you know, if you got a time machine, go throw that at me 4 years ago and I'd have been all over it. Without a time machine, you're just you're asking me to play a game that's old and is retired. You know, I want to play the new shiny hotness. This is it. This is the new stuff. No, it's not a free-to-play game. No Dungeon Defenders games are except DD2. They're normal old retail games where you buy the game, you buy the DLC. They actually haven't charged anything for any of the content, which I'm pleasantly surprised about. Just doing the cosmetic updates, you know? Fortnite Save the World died, sadly. I really still have a lot of love for that game. They just, I mean, I don't really blame them, but Epic just did the Save the World side dirty. You know, they have completely abandoned it. And, you know, it's unfortunate. They never finished it. The last area is not even complete. It's just a rinse and repeat of generic quests. But I'll still say it right now. I think the Fortnite, it wasn't called Save the World, it was called Fortnite. Battle Royale is what changed everything. But it had the potential, and still has the potential, to be the best action defense game ever made, but there's no development, you know? I mean, if the original... See, Epic wasn't the original developer of that game. There was another company. There was a rumor that they were trying to get it back, get the rights back to it to continue development. I mean, I can't really say I blame Epic. Because, you know, if say you're making a video game, and you make your video game, and it does really, really good, and it's in early access and still being developed, and then just for fun, you did this little thing over on the side that took no effort whatsoever. Your developers like whipped it out in a weekend over beers just for a good time. And you put that game out for people to check out, and 100 to 200 times the amount of players instantly flooded the game and adored it and started throwing money at you. You can't just turn that down, and I understand that from a business perspective, but as a player that was really, really into the original Fortnite before all the Battle Royale stuff, it was a huge, huge bummer, you know? So, I mean, I see it. I understand it. If I was them, I would have done the same thing. Do I want to make millions or do I want to make billions? You know, that was the question they were faced with. Millions or billions? Well, I mean, anybody that chooses millions in that conversation probably needs to rethink things. And, I mean, it's made billions of dollars, you know? Well, Save the World was really successful. It was making a lot of money. But it's not like Battle Royale money. You know, that's the thing. I mean, I dumped a bunch of money into that. They gave refunds to people, to a lot of people, or they offered refunds. But I couldn't do it because I would have been screwing over viewers. I ended up buying like 25 copies of that game and doing giveaways on the channel and giving them out. And I would love to get all that money back. But I can't. And it was several $1,000s, you know? It was literally thousands of dollars. Because if I would have filed for the refund when they offered the refunds, that went way too smooth, y'all. If I would have filed for refunds when they added the refunds, then the people who won those games on my channel, even though 99% of them probably weren't playing it anymore, there's Bobby again. Even though they weren't playing it anymore, they would have lost access to it, and I would have, you know, obviously that wouldn't have worked out well for me. I can't be giving things away and then revoking access to it. That would be a dick move, right? But yeah, man, the whole situation with that game is a huge bummer for me, because it really did have crazy potential, crazy potential. I don't play either of those. New World is frying GPUs, and until they get over the whole frying GPUs thing, I'm not going to be playing any New World. I wanted to play it, but I just can't risk that. I can't risk losing my GPU, you know? But yeah, I wanted to check it out. But I don't want to check it out bad enough that even if there's a 1% chance that it could fry my GPU. Terra got just really terrible reviews, so I never was really interested in playing Terra. But I would have loved to have played New World. I'm hoping, I know that the developer and the publisher are two different things, but I'm hoping that Amazon ARPG that's coming up, what is that, Lost Ark? I'm hoping that doesn't suffer similar issues. Let me want to see. That's an okay mask for an orc mask, an orc disguise. That one's poop. I actually would love to get hooked on an MMO again. You guys saw, I tried to play Final Fantasy XIV back, last month? And everybody rages about it, but I just couldn't get into it. But I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be good if they can get it fixed properly. All right, so that little challenge went extremely well. New World cooked your computer. Oof. That's rough. The problem with Final Fantasy XIV is I can't get through to the good stuff. Everybody says so many good things about it. Star Wars The Old Republic is an incredible game, Kayla. That's one MMO that I regretted stopping playing. The reason I stopped playing, I played Star Wars The Old Republic back when it first came out, pretty heavy. And the reason I stopped playing it was my son wanted to be competitive in another World of Warcraft arena season. We used to, me, him, and one of the kids down the road used to do threes in the arena in World of Warcraft, and we'd go for the Gladiator title every season. And those guys wanted to go for the Gladiator title again, so I stopped playing Star Wars The Old Republic to play one arena season with my son and his friend, and I never went back. All right, let's do... What else do we want to try? I kind of want to try the summit using some non-normal stuff. Don't think I want to try that one per thing. Yeah, Star Wars The Old Republic, the thing about that, it is like literally one of the best single-player story mode games ever made. It just happens to be an MMO. It's one of those games. It's just so good. The story in it is so good. If you're a Star Wars fan, I mean, you can go through and play every single class just to get the stories. I haven't tried a bowling ball spawn camp. I've done quite a few different bowling ball, like ball pits. I'm not sure what I'll do in Baldur's Gate. Want to see. Alright, what do I want to do? I want to do something different. Other than just spam DSTs or wisps. I wonder if Beaming Blossoms could take this whole map on. I got beams right there. Let's go with a rogue for deeps. Where's my rogue? Here he is. We got some traps. Let me see. I'm curious on this one. Oops. Well, that is not an EV at all, is it? I guess we'll put the EV right here. Out of his normal place. I'm never going to be able to find him. Let's see. Let's beam it up over on the sides. And I'm going to have to put something here for the copters, too. What do we want to do? Shinobi Striker? What server do you play on, Kayla? I've been thinking about dipping back into that game again. Oh, they're incredible. The stories are absolutely incredible. Okay, we need roots. Let's drop roots here. Then if we want 3 beams, can I fit 3? I'm gonna have to space them better. Man, shame I can't hit copters and the ground lane with beams. Am I going to have enough DU for this? I think I might be going a little over the top here. You know what? I have played Monster Hunter, and I just didn't like it. I've had so many people tell me, what the hell, you're missing out so big by not playing Monster Hunter. There's something about the way the game feels with the movement. I just can't stand it. I don't like it when you don't feel like you're attached to the ground when the characters move. I just don't like the movement. I don't know. It hit one of my little pet peeves in gaming. When it feels like the characters are floating above the ground and are not actually attached to it. And I just could never get into it. And everybody tells me how wonderful of a game it is. And I believe them. But I just personally just couldn't get into it. All right, this actually leaves quite a bit here. Then if we went... Get poison traps out here. How much is it? How many beams is this going to leave me for this side of the map? And I wonder, is there going to be line of sight problems with these columns? Because they're pretty short, right? They don't stand up super tall. See, we got 60. But I'm going to need a buff beam as well. Let's say we have 50. That would be 10. Let's go with 10 beams for this side of the map. So let's go... 1, 2... 3, 4... 1, 2, 3. And 4. Okay, will we sneak 2 in the middle? Yeah, gonna have to move these over. All right, so that leaves me 10 DU left. We're gonna need to spend 6 of it on a big old monster buff beam here. And then 4, we can go with a 2 DU reflect beam. Like right there. And a 2 DU reflect beam like right here. And pray that the ogre doesn't destroy everything right here on this side. Actually, you know what? I know that's going to happen, but I also know that the ogre's coming from that side. So with that in mind, I could go 1 like that, and then 1 like that. And I think it will have entire protection from the ogres down there. Let's see. Let's rogue it out on this one. If Disney would make books, movies, or shows in the Old Republic era, hell yeah. Yeah, exclamation Discord in chat. Their Sun King. Or it's in the description. Either way. I'm on Discord most hours of the day, though. Just don't expect an immediate response, as I don't like sit there and stare at it, but I am, you know, feel free to chat freely to me in Discord. I will see it. I just usually don't sit there and stare at it, though. All right, let's see if this holds up. Oh, we are laser beaming, man. Pink Floyd would be proud here. I'm worried about the copter ogres if they're gonna hold, you know. Wow, man, they are wrecking, huh? These guys just got a 20% buff. Oh, it's not over yet, Marfy. It is not over yet. The beams are just the coolest looking thing, aren't they? The laser beams shooting everywhere. Just such a blast. Absolutely love them. God, they're wrecking. I knew that they were going to wreck, but I didn't expect them to, like, insta-wreck. Like, everything is just melting. Now, this map in particular got a really big buff. The player did by the new targeting priorities, because the boss is no longer the top priority. So previously, the reason people would lose this match is on the boss, all your defenses would target to the boss, and then the enemies would roll up and wreck through the map. Think more stuff is going to get increased. What else other than a Squire do you think needs increasing? I think something still needs to be done with traps. Explosive traps seem to be in a really good place, but you can't get down to the speed cap on them. It seems like there's something off with the speed scaling on them. And Inferno traps are putting out about the same amount of DPS as an Electric Aura, but they don't have 100% uptime where an Electric Aura does. And I think that with the Electric Aura having the 100% uptime, I feel like that the Infernos should get maybe a little bit more, a little more love from something. What else? The Magic Missile seems like it's in a pretty good place. You know, the Squire stuff needs love. I think it comes down to the Squire and traps, really. I mean, traps are super good, but you just can't get them to the point where they're like, wow, this is awesome, you know? Like, you get that with wisps. You get that with slimes. You get a feeling of, you know, you put a bunch of time in, you grind out all this gear, you know, you get a feeling like you have earned something. With the traps, having, like, really big gear on, it makes them usable, but it doesn't make them glorious, you know? Well, I mean, the idea would be to use both. You know, like if you were going to use an Inferno build, you would want an Inferno, an Explosive Trap, and an Electric Aura all going to town with like an Ensnare Aura and a Gas Trap to keep everything parked inside of your stuff. I mean, that's what you'd want. And it's usable now, and it's effective now. But it's usable and it's effective with somebody that's got ridiculous gear, or at least really above average gear, you know? Like all stuff from the keep in Lycan King bonus waves. So, I mean, if you're in Lycan King bonus wave gear, then of course you could beat it, right? But the thing is are you going to be able to get Lycan King bonus gear from using those builds? And right now, I'm not sure that you would. I think you would have to go over to the metas. My power is like 12k, and I want to say my range is about 7,500. I mean, you know I love my monk. There's Sith Phil. So, my monk is one of my better geared heroes. Love him, love him, love him. This seems to be just doing pretty good. I'm curious to see if it's going to hold during the Lycan King boss. Explosive traps, I think, are one step away from being absolutely glorious, but I really think we need to be able to get down to the speed cap on them. I think if we could get to the speed cap on them, they would be like really, really good. Something that you're just going to want to use, like on a lot of different builds. Well, the Warden buff for the beams only gives it Pierce, which the way I've got this map built wouldn't really help that much, because it would be piercing down into the ground and it's not really going to hit a lot of targets. You know, I was hoping to see, I want to see what names roll on a paintball gun, man. But I'm not seeing any named paintball guns here. Age of Darkness? It actually sounds familiar. What kind of game is that? No, it does something different for every defense. And on the Blossoms, it just gives it a pierce. Yeah, Thunderspike needs needs something. For sure. It needs to be able to get to the speed cap, and its targeting right now being random based off of what's closest to the center of the trap is just no good. You know? I mean, that's just not useful at all. I mean, you know how RNG hates us all. It's always going to hit the wrong target unless there's nothing left but the ogre. You know? Age of Darkness Final Stand. I'll have to look at that one. Yeah, it's pretty fun, Reaper. Messing with the roots. Was doing that quite a bit on the last PTR for memes, killing sirens. God, it just would melt. It'll melt sirens. Or it would. I don't know if it still does. I'm assuming it does. Right. I like to start off on the other side. It's a luck thing for me. If I start off on this side, the majority of the time they go this way. If I start off on that side, they always go this way. Well, the summoner was from DD1. The fail summoner was from DD2, but still pretty fun. But it wasn't no DD1 summoner, that's for damn sure. Yeah, but everybody wants the summoner. You're not alone in that thought. They've already said, though, the summoner's either not going to make it or it will be the last hero to make it. That's Chromatic's exact words. Shit. Oh, man. Oh, that was almost bad, huh? Oh, dang. That was damn near a travesty. I mean, to be fair, the summoner, as a developer, the summoner is going to be a bear to make it the same hero without completely nerfing it into the ground. Because let's be honest, you can't have MU. You can't have different units. They have to rebalance the entire game to do that. And they're not going to do that. You know? They're not going to rebalance the entire game just so we can get minion units. And that's what would need to happen to add minion units. And if you don't add minion units, what happens? Well, we're all going to say, what the hell? This isn't the summoner. This is some terrible low-grade knockoff. You know? I mean, they could add the Abyss Lord in. Right. Well, we made it through that. But let's throw some upgrades around. I mean, I would love to have the summoner too. If I had my pick for any DD1 character to return to the game to be in DDA, it would be the summoner, and I think a lot of people would choose that. But I liked the summoner. I liked the minion units. I liked, you know, the additional layer of strategy that minion units added in. They would have to put it in, have them work off the same DU. All right, is this going to work, y'all? The bonus wave is here. Let's see if this is going to hold. You get the light show a little bit better because there's so many more mobs pushing out. It's on everything but the PlayStation now, Corbin. It's on the Xbox and the Switch already. Their last thing they've said is that it'll be on the PlayStation before the end of the year, but they haven't. They're avoiding saying that again, so it makes me think. I mean, I don't know. It might be here before the end of the year, but it makes me think that it might not because they refuse to answer that question. You know? If you ask them now, and they said that over and over again, end of the year, end of the year. It'll be here by the end of the year. But if you ask them that today, they won't answer. So, I mean, like I said, I don't know. But they refuse to answer the question now. And I've asked them it quite directly as well. Like in private messages on Discord. And they just will not answer the question. So, I mean, I'm still hopeful. I got my PlayStation sitting right over there. Just waiting. And then the cross saves, you know. The cross saves are... Like, for me, that's the reason I bought 4 copies of the dang game. Well, 6, including the copy for my wife and kid. But I bought a copy of the game on every platform. Pre-ordered it years ago, you know. All right, now, is it going to hold during the boss? That's really the question. But it melted, huh? Completely melted. Any concept ideas for new heroes? I mean, I'd kind of like to see something a little bit more engineer or steampunk flavored with some sort of like mechanical turrets. I think that would be really cool. But I just think that the whole engineering type steampunk mechanical vibe I just think is super cool. Something did die, but I'm not going to have time to go fix it. 3DU, it had to be a buff beam. If buff beam got hit by a Jinn, I'm guessing. It's going to be that buff beam that's back over over on the other side there. Shoot, now I just screwed up the entire start. Am I going to be able to get over here in time? Oof, just barely. Wow. Oh, nope. Couldn't handle the boss. I'm pretty sure... Let's go look. I think it was this. Or no, the buff beam's still there. There was a Jinn hanging out up here. I thought it was that buff beam. Let's see. Oh, it's the buff beam from down here in the middle. Weird. How did a Jinn get over to that? Oh, yeah. It just wasn't enough power. It's $29.99 on all platforms, Corbin. And then the DLC, all of the content added in is free. You, all you need is the base game, and you get all the content. Well, I mean, it ran really smooth up until then, but yeah, that was just a face roll right here. Nah, that was, I don't even know what it was. Let's see. Oh, yep, it was a Rift Ogre. The Ogre just zerged it. So it was not enough. You know, I got the famous North Side Ogre. If RNG would have sent that Ogre out of the South Lanes, that probably wouldn't have happened. But I just, even with all this power here, it just wasn't enough power to handle an Ogre that was zerging. The Ogres, of course, aren't affected by the gas traps, so it wasn't going to get slowed until here. And by then, it's just too late. But, I mean, still a fun build, seeing the lights go everywhere. Them laser lights are flying. Anyway, y'all, that is gonna get it for me for today. So, thank you all so much for swinging by. I do appreciate it a ton. I'm gonna go be an adult and do real life things on a Sunday. Boo. Boo. So I got to get my little barn and stuff finished up. But anyway, thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, or start to your week if you're from Europe. And I will see you all soon. Take it easy.